You spoke about meditating every day for 1 hour.
Ah,
So at the ashram, what happens is that there are other people also meditating, and that kind of gives you a motivation to meditate as well. Also, the energy is such that it's the presence of Swamiji or whatever. It's much easier to meditate in an ashram atmosphere. But
yeah.
at home, we have multiple duties. We have different things. Of course, now that you said, gave the example of Anuj Singh, that excuse doesn't hold much. But in spite of that, it's difficult sometimes even to have that 1 hour every day. Consistency is difficult to achieve. So
Hmm.
it's like on a Sunday you can do 4 hours, and on Thursday you do 3 hours. It adds up to 7 hours, and you say, "Fine, I did the 7 hours that was recommended." But you're lacking because you're not doing it every day, and then you
Okay.
feel a little bit guilty that okay, Swamiji is just expecting me to do 1 hour every day, but why am I not? How do I motivate myself to get that discipline?
Yeah. I know that a lot of devotees, including me, have this problem. No? How do we maintain the discipline or the regularity that every day without fail we have to do an hour's meditation? Okay. So it is very true, Ma, what you said about the difference in the meditation, in the depth of meditation as well as our own experience, how good we feel about the meditation, the ease of meditation also. So when you're doing it at the ashram, it is very easy, okay, as compared to doing it at home. So at one time, Swamiji told me, somebody mentioned that, when they go to the old ashram, especially that central hall, they can feel the vibrations there. Okay. And they know that it's a very spiritually powerful hall. So that was mentioned to Swamiji. Immediately, Swamiji responded saying that, see, that is a place where tapas was performed. So wherever tapas is performed, the gods descend there. Because the gods descend there, that whole, the place itself, the spot or the room, it becomes energized. And that remains, okay? So this is what he said about the old ashram in Bangalore on Banerghatta Road. And we ourselves can feel it. If we go there and sit for meditation, then we ourselves can feel the difference between other places and that hall where Swamiji did tapas. For your information, Swamiji had performed 1 year of tapas from 1968 August 7th to 1969 August 7th at the old ashram in the hall that is there today. The building is the same. There's no change in the building. Okay. So that is true. And also, if you take the new ashram at JP Nagar, or for that matter, any ashram of Swamiji, where Swamiji was there and where we do the bhajans and we have the astral presence of so many gods, definitely the spiritual power, the spiritual blessings from those gods and goddesses sanctify that area. Okay. And I think that's the reason we can feel. So it is Swamiji's grace. It is probably the presence of the other devotees who are also doing the meditation. Plus, it is the blessing from all the other gods who visit that place. Okay. Frequently when we are doing the bhajans. Now, there are a couple of things I would like to add to this. One is Swamiji himself explained why we feel that reluctance. He said, see, he explained that meditation is to control the mind, right? So he explained that just like we don't want to surrender, not surrender, but then bow down, when somebody else is trying to control us. We revolt, right? We rebel. We don't want to be under somebody else. We don't want to be controlled by somebody else. Swamiji told us that our mind is also like that. When you are trying to control it, it will rebel. Okay, so it won't obey you, it won't listen to you. Okay, so that's the problem. Now, what's the solution? Swamiji also told us a solution. He said, you will have to treat the mind like a child, like a parent treats a child. Okay, and then he told us both the parts. He said, you shouldn't be strict with the mind all the time. Like you cannot be strict with a child all the time, right? At times, you have to please the child, Like you ask the child to go to the school and the child will refuse, saying that he will start crying and all that. So you promise the child, if you go to the school, you will get a chocolate, or you will get this, that, something like that, right? At the beginning, in the first class, in the first year or in the first few months when the child has to go to the school. Later on, the child will be so willing that, it enjoys the school so much, it enjoys the company of the other children so much, that it wants to go to the school every day by itself, okay? So Swamiji said, in the same way, you have to yield to the mind at times and do whatever the mind wants to do. Okay, give it what it wants, but not always. At times, we need to scold the child, we need to punish the child, and we need to be very strict with the child, right? So Swamiji used to tell us that we need to be very strict with the mind also at times, with our own mind. He's talking about the way how I treat my mind. I should treat it like a parent treats a child. Okay, so that is how we should try to control the mind and bring it in our control. Okay, so this is a solution that Swamiji has given. Okay, but please take the advice of Swamiji with a little bit of caution. There are certain activities, certain substances which we know are addictive. Okay, just because our mind is asking for them, if we yield to every request of the mind, then we may fall into a trap. Okay, so we need to keep away from those substances and those activities. Okay, just like we do with the children. We don't really allow the child to go bad, right? We have to keep the child safe and yet yield to some of its requests. In the same way, we have to yield to some of the requests of the mind, some of the, I don't know what to say, request, whatever, right? The likes or dislikes of the mind, but not let it totally go astray and spoil our life, right? So that is the way we need to treat the mind. Now, there are a couple of tricks also that we can do. One thing is again advised by Swamiji himself. See, if you read the instructions of the meditation, Swamiji says you can do meditation at any time of the day. There is no rule saying that you have to do it early in the morning, or you have to do it after taking a bath. There are no such restrictions for Swamiji's meditation. But at the same time, when you go back and tell him that, Swamiji, how can I, make myself do the meditation regularly? How can I get that discipline? So Swamiji used to explain that if we can fix a time of the day, okay, select a time of the day when it would be convenient for you to do the meditation. It could be early morning, evening, afternoon, depends on the kind of work that you do, right? If you have to go to the office or go on a job and do the work regularly, maybe the early morning is good. Or for housewives, maybe the afternoon is good. After all the cooking is over, the lunch is over, you take a little rest before the children come back from school or before the husband comes back from the office. You get some time, you can fix up that time. Any time of the day. But if you can regularly do the meditation at the same time of the day, every day, then Swamiji explained was it will become a habit. What did he mean by that? See, just like we have a meal every day at the same time, so automatically we feel hungry at that time, right? Same thing with sleep. If we get used to sleeping at a particular time every night, then when that time approaches, automatically you feel sleepy, right? You cannot sleep at any other time of the day. So like this, if you can form a habit of doing the meditation, then Swamiji said, at that time of the day, automatically you will feel inclined to go and sit for the meditation. Okay, so we need to form a habit of that. So naturally we'll get inclined, we will get into that the state of mind where we can go and sit calmly and do the meditation for that 1 hour. Okay, now some people do it in a different way. I know of a devotee, a very senior devotee, who was very regular and very disciplined in his meditation. What he would do is he would meditate twice a day. once before breakfast and once before dinner. So before going to office, he has breakfast anyway. So before having the breakfast, he used to do the meditation. I mean, almost make it a rule that unless you meditate, you are not having the breakfast. And unless you meditate in the evening, you are not having your dinner. Okay, so that's the way he formed the habit. So regularly, every day, he would do the meditation. So these are a couple of tricks, Ma, that we can practice, set up a habit, okay, or set some rules of discipline on ourselves so that we can, I mean, we are inclined to do the meditation. We get motivated to do the meditation on a daily basis. Okay. Yeah.